What's going on, y'all? So how do you like the new set? We got a little fancy here, a little bit of a different setup. I was ready to just change it up and do something new for the new year. Tell me down below, what do you like? Do you like it? And there's going to be a lot of changes here, I think, on the channel because I am bored, guys. I'm bored. I don't know what else I want to talk about. Well, I do, but I think I allow myself to be held back too much by wanting to please the audience and wanting to fit into this perfect box of the perfect Catholic and not offend anyone and not, well, I do offend people all the time, but that's a whole other thing. I don't do it on purpose. People are ultra sensitive in 2024, okay? But anyway, I really do try to be a good example of a good Catholic. But listen, child, look, we're adults here, okay? Don't be looking at me as your role model. I'm just sitting here talking to you, sharing my faith and the crazy things that go on in my head. And that's the thing. I want to talk about the crazy things that go on in my head. So we're going to take a little bit of a different direction for a little while on the channel, okay? Like, I have some stuff that I'm so passionate about that I can feel this burning desire about that I want to talk about, okay? And this is a new day. You got a new Roxy here, okay? Look, I got my ripped jeans on today, okay? I got my Jezebel jeans on today. You know, folks, they don't like the ripped jeans. They say that's immodest. No, listen, I'm ready for it. I just want to break free and talk about the stuff I want to talk about how I want to talk about it, and just bring you guys spirituality pumped up. Yeah, pumped up. Okay, pumped up spirituality. Okay, so we got a new set. I'm going to be doing less editing with my videos too, because I want to be able to just put stuff out a lot faster. And, you know, of course, we do quality here, okay? Listen, my members, I have to give them quality, okay? They are supporting the ministry here. I have this burning desire. So I went to Mass. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm going to talk about this in the members video that I'll put in there after this, okay? So we got to talk, okay, guys? The last couple of weeks, I have been slacking on my prayer life. And it started to really get to me. Like, I feel the separation from God when I'm not praying as often as I know that I need to. Not as I want to or like to, as I need to. Like, I need to be on my knees. I need to be praying every night. I need to be reading my Bible. I need it because I always feel that spiritual warfare and like that dark side just trying to get me to come back to the world, because this life is hard. It's hard out here being a Christian. It's hard out here trying to live a truly Catholic life in our time. It just changes everything, right? And I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm not saying it changes in a bad way. What I'm saying is that you have to have a lot of discipline, because it's really easy to look at the challenges and the crosses we bear and to say, I can't do this, Lord. For what? When I was living out in the world doing all the worldly things, it was easy. You know, it was easy doing everything. But now it's like this constant sense of sacrifice that's fulfilling, but at the same time, it challenges you in so many ways. So last night I was having those moments, and I'm back with my prayer life again. Starting this weekend, I started going back to daily Mass. Like, I need to be at Mass every single day. Like, I am that person. I need Mass every day. Okay, it gives me an opportunity to sit and talk with God and to be there with Him in a dedicated time. No excuses, right? Just that connection and receiving the Eucharist. I need that. So I went to Mass today because, honey, after what I saw last night, y'all, okay? So 1 o'clock in the morning comes, and I'm waking up, of course, with my brain toiling down some rabbit hole of like, I need some friends. I have friends, but like, I want to get out and do stuff to just meet more new people and just have a little bit more of a social life. And so I went to Eventbrite. Like, what else would you do, right? And then I was looking up Catholic events, and they all look boring as hell. Okay, they just did. I was like, nothing on here sounds fun or anything like that. So what else they got? So I go to the regular section, and the regular section, they have like the recommended events coming up that they think you might like. So on my screen pops this image, and underneath this image, it says the lion, the witch, and what did it say? Oh man, I forgot what it said. The lion, the witch. It said the lion, the witch, and the cobra. That's what it said. It said the lion, the witch, and the cobra. So I'm like, well, we all know that's a play on C.S. Lewis. So I'm like, what is this about? Because there's this person up there with this pose that looks like this and this demonic face. I was like, this looks scary. So of course, you know, I click on it because what else would I do but click on stuff that looks completely inappropriate, right? So I look, and it's a performance for a performer named Christine, okay? And this person looks completely deranged. And what the performance is like them singing through Sinead O'Connor's most recent album, and it just had all this blah, blah, blah about celebrating her life and how her voice was silenced and how she was raging against the machine kind of thing, right? Like raging against the system, and we must carry on her legacy kind of thing. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? So I do my Google searching, you know me, I was on my Google, okay, and I come across an Instagram profile of this person, Christine. Who is Christine? And I watch these videos, and this person is absolutely nutso.
Hey everybody, it's Christine, and I'm here to let you know from a stanky dressing room to get your fucking tickets, because they're going fast. It's the 19th of November, it's a Sunday, the Lord's Day. Jesus, let's have a show.
Like, I'm looking at this like, if this is a real person, like, you have some serious issues, darling. I'm gonna pray for you. Like, just insane. But like, people love this stuff. There's articles written about this person. New York Times covered this person. They're calling this person Beyonce on bath salts. They're like the greatest thing since sliced bread and music, you know, because they're so avant-garde. Well, it turns out this Christine person is a drag queen, or let me rephrase that, is a man who does drag, but he calls it like terrorist drag, right? Because it is so vulgar. Now, I'm going to warn you, do not go look this person up if you have trouble falling into sin that has to do with sexuality and even lust and all the things, because you're going to go down a dark hole, okay? Because I was in a dark hole for 2 hours, just consumed, right? And when I went to this person's Instagram, I saw them with another person that I recognized right away. And I was like, I know that face. And when I clicked on that person, it was exactly what I thought it was, which is a woman named Michelle Lamy. And she is the wife of a designer. His name is Rick Owens. And Rick Owens is another one. These are avant-garde, like way out there, kind of like dark, had the sense to his designs and his vision. It's very sort of demonic in many ways, right? And then she also had a picture of Marina Abramovich on her profile as well. Now, anyone that knows Marina Abramovich, she is a spirit cooking woman. Okay, she's a one who everybody's like, she cooks children, she does all these things, she does all these sacrifices, that she's ninja blended her baby and put that as a part of her art, and like all these other things. She's in with all the politicians in Hollywood. She's evil, right? She's like an occultist, Satanist, and all these things. And it just got me thinking, man, like, how do people get this dark? So the rabbit hole went deeper, and I took a look at what are their backgrounds? Like, how do you get to this level? So it turns out that Christine, the performer who, and his name escapes me, it's Paul Soleil, I want to say, something of that. I'll put it in text down here. Well, he was born and raised in Louisiana, and he grew up in a Catholic family. He went to Catholic school, he went to Catholic college and all these things. And he came out as gay when he was 13, and just, you know, the experiences that he had with this juxtaposition of his life as a man who has, or a young man who has same-sex attraction, and how that just didn't mesh with his beliefs and what he was trying to find within himself, which is a sense of belonging, right? Then you look at Rick Owens, who comes from a conservative, traditional Catholic family from out here in California. His wife, Michelle Lamy, she is from France. She's French, and she was Catholic, but she was never really raised in a church. She went to a boarding school run by nuns, but they wouldn't even let her get catechized. It was like a whole thing. So she never really got into her faith. And then you have, of course, Marina Abramovich, who is just out of this world with her performance art, which has very dark themes to them. And she grew up in the Serbian Orthodox Church, and her family was really heavily into that. And so you have these connections, and I keep coming across these stories of people who were once specifically Catholic, in this case, in many cases of these stories that I've seen, and how they've taken this turn into the darkness and the dark side. Some of them still live in that. There have been other stories of people who've gotten out of it, but like how there's just this lure in our society and to just go against the light and into the dark, and how acceptable it is. Because when you go back and you look at these people and who follows them, there's like, they have throngs, millions of fans, millions or thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who just follow their every word and live lives based off of this darkness they create. And the crazy thing is, I don't even know how much of it they actually consume in their own lives. Like if you look at the guy who does the impression of Christine, like he just seems, he's not as extreme as what he plays in this character. Or even Marina Abramovich, she kind of lives a life that seems like it's very like atheist in many ways and separated from the experiments that she puts out there. And I am so fascinated by it that I want to dig into this story. But there's been so much going on in the world lately. For instance, the whole thing that was happening at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Now, I am a born and raised New Yorker. New Yorker, I'm from Brooklyn, okay? I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a New Yorker from Brooklyn, which you know, okay? Look, Brooklyn is everything I love. You know, everything I love is Brooklyn, you know? So anyway, you know, like, boom. So I'm watching the TV. That's my Brooklyn, like, boom. I'm watching the TV, and I was watching the internet. I was watching something on YouTube, and they was talking about St. Patrick's Cathedral and what went down in St. Patrick. Well, it was like a sex worker who had died, and they had this funeral. Y'all know the story, okay? And how they were just, I have the funeral. I have the actual video. I took it down. In case they took it down, I downloaded it because I wanted to do a whole like story on it. But like, that's my home. Like St. Patrick's Cathedral, I graduated in that cathedral. I had my high school graduation there. My school, we were connected with St. Patrick's Cathedral. We would have some of our masses there as well. We had a chapel in our high school, but our main church was St. Patrick's Cathedral. We were on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. So it was just, it's wild to hear what the world sees as acceptable now. Like, how debased as a culture are we that people don't see a problem with bringing vileness to the church, or to just be at a point where they don't see any kind of disrespect being crass and disgusting and cursing and all these things, and just to make a point in a Catholic church. And the fact that the archdiocese either didn't do anything, or the priest was sitting there in the midst of all of this and didn't stop it. Like, we are in this culture where we are so separated from God, and I am so fascinated by it. And the next couple of videos that I'm going to do here on the channel, I think I want to dig into that, because that's where I feel like my passions are going right now, digging into the why behind that. Why are people falling away from faith? Because here's the thing. I mean, I could talk about prayer and prayer life and all that stuff, which I will, of course. You know, I always do that. But right now, this is the era we're in. We are in the era of getting this to the bottom of what is the satanic mess going on. Because I think there are so many people that are searching for the answers, right? There's so many people that are searching to get out of this occultism, this darkness. Maybe they're deep in it, and they might stumble upon the YouTube sector, and they're looking for someone who can talk to them in a way that they understand. Or maybe they're not even that deep in, but they're living worldly lives, and there's a call that's deeper, that's calling them back. It's Christ. It's knocking on their heart. And the truth of the matter is that I know what that's like. I'm not a perfect Catholic. I'm not a perfect woman. Okay. I'm not out here like living the most perfect life. I sin. I'm too quick to anger. I'm so quick to, listen, I'll cut somebody out in a minute. I have learned how to bridle my tongue. Okay. But it's still a vice of mine, you know? And I'm not perfect. And I think it's important to have conversations so people know that you don't have to be perfect in order to be following in your way of faith that God expects you to fall and to stumble. You know, we're in the midst of Lent right now, and for the last 2 Fridays, and every Friday through Easter, I'm doing Stations of the Cross at my parish. And last week, we did the Way of the Cross by Fulton Sheen. So we did Fulton Sheen's, Archbishop Fulton Sheen's Way of the Cross. Man, it's gut-wrenching. So much so that I think I'm actually going to do a video here, you know, and narrate it and stuff like that, and have it as one of our prayer videos. That way, if you want to do Stations of the Cross by yourself, or just to do it anytime you need that oomph during the year or whatever, it's there in the library for you to listen to and to watch. But it was just so powerful about how we, in our sins and our faults and our misgivings and all the things that we do, we crucify Christ every single day. And when we have that knock on our hearts, and we're ready to open the door to Him, that He is just there with open, stretched arms, always ready to accept us. And I think that's such an important message. And more people need to see relatable stories around faith that they can actually see themselves in, because, you know, we're in a fallen world, you guys. I mean, church attendance since COVID is down, right? Like we were hanging by like 20% of people of Catholics attending Mass on a weekly basis. Now it's down to like 11% or so, like that post-pandemic. we're in dire straits, and sometimes you need to come down to a level where people are to talk to them so they understand that they're not alone and there is a way. You know, this could be the gateway drug to the Most High for them. You know, they come here, they get opened up, and then it leads them to something deeper. Maybe, you know, they might get down to Father Chad Ripperger's channel. They might get down to find what Aquinas. They might get down to whoever else is out there, you know, that's really laying down some faith in deeper ways than what I can give. But it's a doorway. And I feel like this is what's on my heart. So that's where we're heading over the next couple of videos. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys with where I'm taking the channel. I'm doing things in my own time. Like, guys, I'm trying to run my fitness business. I have bills to pay, so I have to put my energy into that mostly and come over here and do videos and stuff like that on the schedule that I can sustain, because trying to grow my YouTube channel and run my business and grow that channel, it got too much. I was ready to throw in the towel and quit. Like, I just felt overwhelmed. So I'd rather deep dive into videos like this that open up a conversation. It might take me a little bit longer to put together and edit. On the member side, I will go ahead. I'm using the member side as my notes. So y'all gonna see a lot of videos of me popping up there like, okay, what do you think about this? Or this is what I discovered. And I'll put them out here as well periodically. But I wanted to follow up with you guys so that you know what's coming up new down the channel, down the pipeline. Let me know what you think about the set here. Brand new set. We got Jesus. Look at Jesus. Look at Jesus. Jesus. Blessed Mother right there. Okay. And then we got this crucifix. That crucifix? Yeah, your girl hooked it up. You know, your girl hooks it up. That's what we do. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Man, like, look at the community posts that I have as well, because I kind of gave a little bit deeper thoughts on this, more collected thoughts, and just where I just feel like, man, this world is lost. How do you go from having that deep Christian background to stepping away into the darkness so deeply, you know, and what will it take to get that back, to get you out of that, to bring them back, right? That's the conversation we're going to be having over the next couple of videos. So let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao for now.